What is up? We are back at Dave Confused. I'm Dave, still confused, and I brought my friend Kyle.
And I'm just always confused.
He's also confused, but he doesn't have a YouTube channel.
Nope.
Well, yeah, we have a YouTube channel called Wreck All the Things. You probably know about it.
I would hope people on your Dave and Confused
would go
know
over and check
about
it out. I'm sure they'd
Wreck
check
All the
it out.
Things.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, so we thought, it's Halloween. Big thing right now is scary movies, slashers. So we thought we would each put our top 3 slasher movie kills in this video. I'll go first. I'll do my first kill. Right? I haven't mentioned this character a lot in my videos, but when I was growing up and was first starting to watch horror movies, he was one of my go-tos, and it was the Leprechaun. Played by Warwick Davis, right?
You guys would probably know him more as Harry Potter.
He's in the Harry Potter movies. Yeah, he's like the goblin.
Yeah,
like
I don't know what he does. No, he's a teacher, I think.
He's in the Harry Potter movies. Anyway,
he's Leprechaun.
Yeah,
sized person.
So, in the first Leprechaun, which stars her first role, I believe, Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah.
The Leprechaun's whole thing is he searches out his gold. His gold means, and he'll kill anybody who gets in the way of him and his gold. So they find his gold, a bunch of teens, and they take one of the pieces to like a pawn shop for him to kind of test it and make sure it's real gold and everything. Well, during the night, the Leprechaun breaks into the pawn shop and finds the shopkeeper there, and chaos ensues, and the Leprechaun kills him with a pogo stick by jumping on his chest.
Yep.
And just shattering everything. And he says a rhyme, because that's like the Leprechaun's thing. He rhymes, and I believe it's "This old man, he played pogo on my lung."
I think my first kill would have to come from the Scream franchise, done by Wes Craven. I mean, the guy's a genius.
Yeah, he's a horror movie
actor. The guy is a genius. It's kind of hard to pick a favorite too. Like, the Scream movies are all so good. Even the one that they but did 10 years later, 4, I think it
Scream
was.
4.
It actually fit really well, especially with new technology. Even the show, if you watched the Scream show.
I've seen a little bit of it, yeah.
I actually really enjoyed it. I like the way they took Snapchat and they used Instagram and they used technology.
They made it very more modern.
Yeah, but still kept to that classic thriller slasher.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think one of my favorite kills would have to be probably the garage, where she's going out to get beer. She says the iconic line, "I'll be right back," which, those movies, when you say that, you're not coming back. Yeah. And so she kind of taunts him and plays with him, and we're gonna play serial killer.
Well, she thinks it's like one of her friends.
It's a joke.
Or
She thinks it's
a big joke. Until he pulls out a knife and then just cuts her arm
open. She tries to escape through the garage door, which he opens. Door comes all the way up. I believe it breaks her neck.
Yeah, it breaks her neck, I believe, and then the whole door just falls
comes down and crashes down on her.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a pretty classic scene.
My second kill number deuce, is an iconic classic slasher horror movie kill from Nightmare on Elm Street. The first one, which has Johnny Depp as a young...
I believe it's one of his first roles.
It's one of his first ones, yeah. Set the scene, so the main character, Nancy, is on the phone with her boyfriend because she doesn't want to fall asleep because Freddy's going to get her if she falls asleep. So they're on the phone trying to keep each other awake. He falls asleep, and Freddy comes for him and sucks him into his bed. Like, the bed becomes like a volcano hole, and he just gets pulled down with all the wires of his headphones and his little TV and everything, and gets sucked in, and then blood, like a fountain of blood, defies gravity and shoots to the roof.
Just paints the room.
And starts filling the room with blood from the top down. And his parents hear everything, walk in to see their son is now a puddle of blood.
And gone.
And
never see a body.
Yeah, and so that was one of the most iconic Freddy Krueger kills of all time.
As we're sitting here kind of chit-chatting about some of our favorites, this one's actually going to be my number 2. which is, and I know it's one of the worst ones, and I know you're going to yell at me for bringing it up, but Jason X, as terrible as the movie is...
We don't talk about Jason X.
It was never really part of the franchise. It was kind of its own thing. They just took the character. If you're looking for cool kills, I mean, there's probably 4 or 5 mentionable kills in Jason X. But I think my favorite one is he's trying to kill the people on the ship. They set up...
it's in the future, by the way. Like
like 100 years down the road, whatever. And so they set up like a virtual reality where he's from, which is Camp Crystal Lake. There's 2 hot counselors. One takes their top off. The other one climbs in the sleeping bag. And they kind of start teasing him. And it cuts away. And they say you got to go faster because they're not lasting very long. And when it goes back to him, he's actually got one of the counselors in a sleeping bag beating the other lady who's in the sleeping bag, and then just like throws her up against a tree and just beats them both to a pulp in a sleeping bag.
He's beating one with the other, and then when the one on the ground stops moving, he just takes the other one and whips her against a tree.
And that's it. Lights out. So, I mean, that's...
Yeah.
It's funny. It's clever. The movie was terrible.
It's well done,
But...
It's basically the best part of that movie, to be 100% honest, is that kill.
Yeah.
My third and last kill, this was one of my favorites just because it came out of nowhere. Like, a lot of people didn't see it coming. So at the end of, like, most horror movies, the main character, usually the innocent girl who kind of stumbled upon the situation.
The virgin.
Right. Didn't do anything deliberately to be where she is. She usually ends up living, right? Defying the odds, getting past the killer that no one else could. She makes it to the end. Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I believe it's one of the remakes, one of like the later ones
that they did. One of the 7 remakes that they've done?
Yeah, I don't know, one of them. She's escaping. She got into a car and was on her way and saw lights and everything ahead of like a police officer. Like, she was in the clear.
She was safe.
Yeah, like she had made it. And then she's driving as quickly as she can to get there. And out of nowhere, Leatherface sits up in the back seat. How this like 300-pound man
stays hid
in the back seat with a full-size chainsaw, I will not know. Anyway, he sits up. She starts freaking out. He revs his chainsaw and puts it through the back seat into her and like out of her, and you know, it was because it was so like out of nowhere. Like, you thought she made it, like she's good, she survived, and it was not the case. So that was why it's one of my favorite of all time.
Now, my last one, my third, it's... I don't know if I could really narrow it down to one of the kills. It's my yearly... I've already watched it once this year, just because as soon as Halloween comes around, I throw it's Trick or Treat.
I love... Yeah, I put in one of my videos, Trick or Treat was one of mine. Yeah.
So, Sam from Trick or Treat, he's the main character. If you haven't seen the movie, it's 4 or 5 shorter stories, and
they all
connect at the end. Like, there's parts of all the stories being seen in all the other stories that you don't realize until the end, and then they kind of all come together.
Yeah.
But the old man next door ends up dealing with Sam, who's just this orange pajama-wearing burlap
little
sack on his head. He's not very big. He looks like a child. He comes in, he's crawling up the walls, he's crawling across the ceiling, he's toying with this old man, and just lets him have it. Like, just annihilates this old guy.
Yeah.
And just that whole movie is probably one of my favorite Halloween movies, but I think that would be my favorite kill out of that entire movie.
Yeah, he gets the old man. Actually, he like beats the old man like a pulp.
Yeah.
And then later on in the movie, he opens the door, and it's all like the zombie kids from the bus, whatever, right? So, yeah, it's such an iconic movie. It's so good. Yeah, those are our videos. Those are our slasher scenes that we are watching this Halloween, you know.
What are you watching this Halloween?
What is your favorite slasher movie kill scene? Leave in the comments below. And if you want to see more of me and Kyle, check out our Record the Things channel. At the end of the video and in the details below, there will be a link where to go.
We've got some new videos coming up.
Out. We got a lot coming up on that channel. A lot of stuff to look forward to. So, thanks for stopping by. And at least our dogs are werewolves.